Hello everyone, Ron again, and in this video we're going to talk about arpeggios. Action.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
So what is an arpeggio? An arpeggio is when you have some chord and you take that chord and break it apart and use it as a melody. So the reason arpeggios are useful is because once you know the notes to different chords or the scales, you can use those patterns or chords to make melodies to whatever rhythm you have. You don't have to think as hard. We're going to look at an example that I know. And it's going to involve something that I have not discussed yet because of going over the minor scale and the major scale, but not going over seventh chords. But I'm going to explain it anyway. So let's look at the song Don't Wanna Try by Frankie J. And the melody goes like this. If you're familiar with the scales enough that you recognize the notes, or you slowed this down or something like that, or you even just know the notes of the song, then you'll recognize that it starts going up on C sharp major. So you got C sharp, F, G sharp. Okay, and C sharp major would be E sharp. So C sharp, E sharp, G sharp. So then it plays two D sharps and it comes back down. But after it comes back down, it's playing in F minor seventh chord. So the keys are F, A flat, C, E flat. So you'll notice that it's doing that. So as it's going up, it has a C sharp major chord, and then two D sharps or E flats. And then that second E flat is coming down and it's on the minor seventh of F, which is actually very nice. Because even though it starts off major, it sort of gives you a minor feel. And when it goes up the second time, it does something similar. It's E flat major. So E flat, G, B flat. E flats again are D sharps. But this time when it comes down, it goes down the notes of the C minor seventh chord, which is C, E flat, G, B flat. So whereas F minor is F, A flat, C, E flat. So to write this part or to understand it, you could think of it as an arpeggio that travels up the C sharp major scale on the major chord for these three notes, has an E flat, and then it comes back down the F minor chord. Then it starts on E flat and it goes up the E flat major triad, goes to the octave, and then it comes down an inverted C minor seventh chord. So if we look at the next part of the melody, it goes like this. So it goes back to the E flat where that particular chord began, the second chord, when it was going up the second time. Well, I should say, I guess, the second part of the melody. And then it starts just playing the notes of the E flat major scale. But check this out. It goes E flat, C, G, A flat, and then it goes C, F, A flat, C. So you'll notice the F, A flat, C is the F minor chord. So All throughout this melody, the use of arpeggios was employed. And then when you get to this part, you have a B flat, then you have an E flat, G. It goes back up to E flat, and then it plays the E flat major chord again. So that part is the same E flat major chord from the beginning. So it's actually used twice. It's used first here at this point, and then the next part of the melody happens. And then right here. Then the next part, it goes F, A flat, E flat, F, F, E flat, B flat. And then there is a trill over the E flat major chord again, but it's inverted. So instead of being E flat, G, B flat, it's G, B flat, E flat. So, and then there's two Fs. So you got, it's really making use of this E flat major chord when you break it down. And it has it inverted, and a lot of the notes that you're hearing come from that chord actually. And then it starts playing the scale degrees of E flat major. And E flat major is E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. So after it plays the trill over the inverted E flat major chord, it starts just using the scale. And so I guess you could consider this to be C minor. I haven't seen sheet music for it. I just know the notes because I watched the video on YouTube. And somebody else explained it, and I just like the song. So it goes C, F, G, A flat, C, G, A flat, B flat, A flat, B flat, C, B flat, A flat, E flat, which is like, so it switches from using arpeggios of just major chords, and it just uses the scale degrees, because despite the possibility of accidentals, which means that you play a note outside of the scale, you may not want to do that because you could create dissonance, and then you have to release that tension if you do. So far we've seen C sharp major, E flat major, and we've seen that multiple times, and we've seen it inverted in the trill right here. Of the minor chords, we've seen F minor 7th and an inverted C minor 7th. The next part is actually pretty cool because it's like a real quick triplet, and it starts on D flat, plays C, and it goes back and forth between the two, and then it goes to A flat. So then you got E flat, C, A flat, and B flat. But when it goes E flat, C, A flat, that is an A flat major chord. And that makes sense because A flat is the fourth of the scale, and the fourth is going to have a major chord. So the fourth, the fifth, and the first of the scale are going to have major chords in a major scale. So if we think of this as the E flat major scale, then that makes sense. Of course, the way it's written, it is in C minor, but it being in C minor means it's the E flat major scale. So those are the same notes. So you would have as a major scale, and you would have as a minor scale. So let's continue. As you can see, we've come across a whole bunch of chords already. So you have F, G, E flat, B flat. And then on the right hand, what it does is it actually plays an inverted F minor 7th chord. So the F minor 7th chord is F, A flat, C, and E flat. So rather than that, it puts the C and the E flat on the bottom. So it does this instead of this. And it goes. And then it plays a suspended chord. Now what a suspended chord means is that the third of the chord is omitted in exchange for something else. So if it's a suspended 4th chord, then it has the 4th scale degree rather than any 3rd scale degree. And if it's a suspended 2nd chord, it's going to have the 2nd degree rather than the 3rd degree. So this is an E flat suspended 4th. And then it plays E flat, and plays it again, and plays C. So that entire part would sound like this. And then it goes up to this A flat here. Once it reaches A flat, it does another one of those triplets between A flat and G. But that one ends on F. And then it goes down C minor 7th, but it's not inverted. So it goes B flat, G, E flat, C. So that's. So after it descends the C minor 7th chord, you got E flat, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, B flat, F, G, and then the F minor 7th inverted again. Even though while I'm playing it, I just play C, E flat, F, because it sounds better to me. You could interpret them as just being scale degrees, but when you look at E flat, F, and B flat, E flat, B flat minor, because B flat, E flat, F. So that entire part would sound like this. So if we review the entire thing for all the chords that we've seen so far, you got C sharp major, E flat major, you had a couple of F minor 7ths, you had some C minor 7ths, whether inverted or straightforward, because you had this. There was an A flat major triad. There was a suspended 4th chord. And we speculated that possibly this could have been, while they were writing it, B flat minor before this part. The whole thing together would sound like this. So the purpose of this video was to explain what an arpeggio is and show you how useful they could be in a practical sense. And because they're made up of chords, again, it is imperative if you want to write music more easily, or, better music, that you should just learn the chords. You should memorize them, learn where they are on the piano, and get a piano controller. I know a lot of people don't know what MIDI is. MIDI is musical instrument digital interface, and it basically means you connect something like a piano or a drum controller to your computer and you play whatever you're entering with that. It's the same piano that I use during these tutorials. The one I have, it's a piano controller, so it doesn't actually make sound on its own. It just is intended for use with a computer. But it makes learning all this a ton easier because you can just look at the keys on your own piano controller, or even if you have a regular piano as you're watching the tutorial, because that's what I would do. I have a separate piano and it has more comfortable keys, so I play on that. It produces its own sound and I like it better. And it's a better indication because it's not loudness normalized like this is, because you'll find that a lot of plugins, they let the piano go to an absolute zero velocity, and that's just too low to be heard. But yeah, I hope you gained something from this video. And to emphasize again, learn the chords, learn the scales. It makes everything a lot simpler. So learn the chords and then you can break them up into different rhythms. And those are arpeggios. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. And as usual, have an awesome day. Peace.